Hello. Oh my gosh, this is really, it's really emotional just because I love my kids, my students very much. And so I really wanted to bring them up here, but like I told them, I want them to eat because like they just work so hard, like practicing and dancing for y'all. So I'd rather they eat. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when I was asked to speak, it occurred to me to just share a little bit of my story of why Fearless Dance Studio is where it's at. And so for those of you that don't know me, my name is India Irons. I am a clinical social worker. I am director of Fearless Dance Studio. I am a dancer. I'm a teacher. I'm their mentor. I'm a youth advocate. And so, for me, it's a little bit emotional just because I've grown up, when I was their age, I've grown up in a broken household myself. And I was trying my best to get out of a toxic and abusive environment when I was a kid. And so I needed mentors for myself when I was their age. I needed somebody that I need to look up to believe in the circumstances more than what I was given when I was a kid. And I was kicked out before I was 18. I applied to colleges. My intention was to leave the state, and all the colleges that I applied to, PLU was the only school that I applied to in Washington State. But because I was kicked out, I just used the money that I had at the time, and I attended PLU. But I couldn't afford it the whole school year. I was couch surfing, and I went back to the Boys and Girls Club because they made a difference in me back then when I was young. And they paid off what I owed at PLU in order for me to transfer at UW-Tacoma, where I received my bachelor's and my master's in social work. Now back then, one of the conditions that I had to do, because they paid off what I owed at PLU in order for me to transfer, they give me a job as a Boys and Girls Club program specialist at the Shots branch. So I was the performing arts coordinator where I taught dance. You guys see me now with the kids at Fearless Dance Studio, but Fearless actually started back then when I was a program specialist. What I noticed when I was teaching them hip hop, when I was teaching them dance, the kids there, the dance room was a home away from home for them. I noticed that the little kids that grown up to be teenagers, that grown up to be high schoolers, they said like, Miss India, I remember when you taught me that dance. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like they still remember the dances when I taught them when they was in kindergarten. Now they're in high school and they still, like they're over here like being active in sports and being leaders in BSU and all that kind of stuff. And so like during that time, after the dance room at the Boys and Girls Club has made a lot of impact over thousands of lives in that small little space right there. The performances, all the parents showed up and everything like that. Now, my dance room also touched the kids that was also dealing with stuff at home, just like I did. I was hearing the stories of the kids in the foster care system. I was hearing the kids that shared similar stories that I did. They didn't know about my story necessarily, but it's just the fact that, like, even though my dance room was a home away from home from them, they were still going back home to the issues that they were dealing with at home. And so after I graduated with my master's in social work, I transitioned from a program specialist, a performing arts coordinator, to a child welfare service caseworker in the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. Now, the reason why I transitioned to that position was because I've experienced a broken household myself. I wanted to help families to heal. I wanted to reunify families. Everybody's familiar with Child Protective Services, CPS, where they assess for safety, and sometimes kids have been removed due to child abuse and neglect. I was the back end where I put the kids back into the parents' care and work with them to try to keep the families together. And that was important to me because I wanted to see the family whole, because that's something that I have not experienced myself. And after a certain period, I transitioned to Mary Bridge Children's Emergency Department as a mental health clinician, where I assess teenagers who struggle with depression, suicide, anxiety, PTSD, and made assessments and referred to parents and services to work within their family to try to keep their child safe at home, as well as making sure that they got access to services such as inpatient and mental health providers. And it is not easy when you see a child come to the ED intentionally trying to kill themselves. It is very heartbreaking. And so I did that for a couple of years. But after that, I transitioned into my current position as a youth engagement service clinician, where I do a direct therapy practice with the youth out of the Franklin Pierce School District and through Keithley Middle School, as well as started Fearless Dance Studio. Now, the thing about Fearless Dance Studio, the reason why I share this journey is because the Fearless Dance Studio is more than them learning the skills to perform. It is about them seeing themselves bigger than they are, that they are enough, that they are beautiful, they are strong, that they learn the skills to become leaders, that they develop teamwork. As you see here, that my students, a lot of my students have come from different schools, and they developed as a family. And not only my students developed as a family, the parents of my students as well. And yes. So Fearless Dance Studio started from Romans 16:20. I Give You Glory by Jonathan Nelson featuring Ty Tribbett. And it's crazy that I got this title of the studio from the song, but what it meant to me at that time is that it is with God that we can make it through anything, regardless of the circumstances. It is with Him that nothing is impossible. And so, through Fearless Dance Studio, the mission is to live fearlessly for God. And through Fearless Dance Studio, the kids have learned to be creative. They learn that they are enough. That is through God that they will make it through every circumstance. They recently just performed a song at Eastside Assembly Believers this past Sunday. And prior to their performance, I broke down and cried because of everything that is encountering in this world that they have to experience. And I realized at that moment that this is something that they may encounter as they grow old. They may not see it, but eventually they're gonna become the next me. They're gonna become the next you. They're gonna become the next social worker, the next doctor. They're gonna be the next political leader. So my dance studio is not just for them to focus on pursuing dance, but for them to see that they are the next generation. They are the generation now. And yes, give it up for them. And so I honestly just wanted to express my heart of how much I love to serve the youth. And it's inspired from my own journey. But through Fearless Dance Studio, I'm happy to teach them that they can learn how to heal, they can walk differently in their journey, that they will become the next leader. They can even take my place as far as I'm concerned. Like they're that good. Some of them are over here telling me like, I want to be the dance instructor. I want to be this. And so it just gives me so much joy to see that in their faces. And so I just want to say thank you all for just supporting Fearless Dance Studio. Thank you for every booking, for just speaking encouragement in the kids' lives. And just thank you. Just thank you. I just can't thank you enough. And I thank the students and I thank the parents that have been standing with me for the past few years and just believing in me and trusting in me. And that we're still continuing to go strong and that they are this generation, like they are our leaders. So we need to continue to support our youth. we need to continue to support our youth. And so with anything, I leave you with this. Repeat after me. I am fearless.
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 I have the victory.
I have the victory.
I have the victory.
I have the victory.
I am more than an overcomer.
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 Thank you.